get on its way.
Okay, hello. My name is CheeseJay, and today I'm going to be showcasing Mario Odyssey Kaizo mode any percent. If you don't know what Kaizo mode is, it's just like a mod that makes the game way harder. It changes all 880 moons in the game to make them more difficult. And we'll get more into that as we start the run, but I'm just going to do a countdown. We'll start up here. Three, two, one, go. Okay, first thing you'll notice is I'm playing on English instead of simplified Chinese, and that's just because English is the only language that works for this mod. The developers don't have or got rid of like the Chinese text file, I think. So if you just boot this game on Chinese, it just crashes. But that's the first thing. And then cap's not too difficult. There's going to be a little bit of tricky platforming, but it's still your traditional tutorial stage. That's the word I was looking for. So I'm just going to wake up Mario here, do a spin pound by spinning the stick twice, and then doing the ground pound inputs, and transitioning that into a roll by holding the crouch button and then shaking the controller. And that's how I move really fast in this game. And then I'm going to be going to grab Cappy, just as you would in any other Mario speedrun, Mario Odyssey speedrun. And then you're going to see the first change coming up here in about 3 seconds. I'm going to be having to do some platforming on these danger signs here. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, sometimes this takes me an attempt or two. I should also mention, I haven't run this mod in the better part of like 2 weeks, so we're just going to see if I rust. I just have not gotten an opportunity. Been doing other stuff in this game that's been keeping me busy. So I'm just going to try to lock in here on this jump. There we go. I'm just going to put this slow and safe. There we go. Okay, second try. Not too bad. And then you're going to notice there are no frogs in the frog tower. So I got to do this triple jump. This is not super difficult. It might look a little bit flashy, but this triple jump here has been known about since like the dawn of this game. It's been using the category minimum captures to skip the frog. So I know how to do that. Nice and easy. Like I said, still getting warmed up here with the mod. One thing this mod does really well is the difficulty scaling. So these early kingdoms are pretty easy, but then the later ones definitely get more difficult. I am having a hard time here, though. Having Mario and Cappy cooperate. There we go. Oh, wait, boxers. Okay, I almost forgot. If I go up this way, you'll notice that there are some platforms. Good thing I didn't forget this. Because, one sec. Okay, you'll notice that there is a boatload of coins right here, and this is what's going to allow me to buy the $1,000 boxers. These does put this here because this mod runs on version 1.0 of the game. And if you know much about Mario Odyssey, you'll know that in 1.2 there were these Luigi coin arts implemented. And if you ground pound in specific spots, they'll give you 200 coins. But, like I said, they were added in 1.2, and this mod runs on 1.0. So we don't have that in luxury. So the devs put in a lot of hidden coin stacks like that are just massive, so you can get coins really easily. Because otherwise, you just don't get like any coins on version 1.0 of the game. It's way harder. Also, you'll notice there's some spinies here in this fight. Okay, there we go. And then one more. Okay, come here, Topper. There we go. Okay, Cap Kingdom done. Not my cleanest Cap Kingdom in the world, but it was a Cap Kingdom. Oh, okay, there we go. And now we're going to move on to Cascade Kingdom. And I'm going to give the hardest trick in the run that I do, personally, one try. Just for the heck of it. There's a trick in Cascade known as down a skip skip. And if I hit it, I'll save a boatload of time, but it's like really pixel tight, so yeah. The backup is not much slower though if I miss it. I'll probably give it a try or two. Just gotta skip a couple of cutscenes, and then coming up, you'll see. What I'm going to be doing is, I'm also going to be skipping this first main and grabbing it later. And I'll explain that in a minute. But for now, this is down to skip skip. I'm going to be doing a triple jump off this rock. And first try, look at that. And then I want to grab Boxer, so I'm going to come over here. And then kill... They have extra Burbos here. These are going to give me a bunch of coins. Okay. And then I'm going to... Oh, I forgot there's ribs here. That's right. That'll make my life easier. Maybe. Oh my gosh. I nailed the hardest trick when I'm failing basic platforming. Okay. Okay. Come on. Oh my gosh, I think I'm dead. That's very bad. I am struggling. It's because the camera's panning on me there. I should have just done what I'm used to. That's fine. I'm going to showcase the alternative now because I'm back at the start, unfortunately. So this is what is known as first min skip. Typically what I like to do is come over to this rock and then set up Cappy and do a vault. I'm not even upset about that death because I'm able to showcase both methods here. So, no big deal. And like I said, this is a Kaizo mod, so it is a bit more difficult, but I haven't really gotten into the hard stuff yet. Okay. And then I'm going to come over here, do a vault. And I'm going to come over here, and this is what's known as rib skip. Let's not fall. Oh my gosh. I'm going to come over here. There we go. And I should be able to buy the boxers by the time I hit Sand Kingdom as well. I should mention that. So at the start of, like, before the end of the next level, I should be able to buy the boxers. Come here. That rock got in my way. So you'll see the difference to this fight is there's a bunch of rocks that can get in my way, but it still plays out pretty much the same as vanilla. And as you can see, grabbing more coins to afford the 1,000 coin boxers. They're very expensive. Almost at 1,000 coins there. There we go. Okay, that's the first multi-moon of the game done. And I mentioned earlier that I skipped over the first power moon that was in that rock. And that's because if I grab it early, it takes a lot longer to grab, and two, there's extra cutscenes associated with it if I grab it early. So, if I grab it later, the devs made it so there's not as many cutscenes, because in the vanilla game, if you grab it after the Madame Brutal fight, the game just crashes, and it's, like, ungrabbable. So the devs for this mod fixed that. So you'll notice this, first moon is not a story moon anymore. It's one of just, like, the traditional normal moons, and has a much shorter cutscene. So it is significantly faster to grab now. And then there's one more moon I gotta grab over here that uses the Gushin. Not really much harder, but we get to use the Gushin, so it's a lot of fun. And with that, we're going to be moving on to Sand Kingdom. Not the cleanest cascade in the world, like I said, but definitely acceptable. And I got to showcase both DSS and FMS, which I've never done before in a run. Definitely a more chaotic start to this run than I expected, but that's what happens whenever I come in with a little bit of rust. I'm not too worried, though. This is probably one of my most ran categories, so even whenever I'm rusty, I'm still pretty dang good at it. And you're going to notice a lot of kingdoms still have the vibe of regular Mario Odyssey 80% in the sense that a lot of the moons are really quick. And I think Sand's a great example of that. There's still a lot of tricky moons I'm going to be grabbing because it is a Kaizo mod, but for example, some of the moons are just very slightly changed from vanilla, and I'll point those out whenever we get there, but they're still very, very fast. And that's one of the things I like about this Kaizo mod. Not everything is like hard platforming gauntlets. A lot of the moons are still kind of easy and quick. So it gives the run a little bit of a sense of consistency. And this first one I'm going to be grabbing is from the Rumble Room. And that one is very slightly changed. If I come over here and go into this pipe, you'll notice usually you have to go to the top left there, but they move the right moon to the bottom right because this is where it is in the Seaside Rumble Room. And in the Seaside Rumble Room, it's in the sand spot. And I'll definitely showcase that when we get there because that's one of the moons I will be grabbing. But next up, I'm on a bird cycle here, and I have the seed, so I have to try to maneuver it over to this pot with relative speed to try to plant it before the bird passes by here. There's a moon behind back that I like to grab, but I messed up my movement a little bit, so I'm just going to be safe and grab this bird moon early. I'm going to do this. Actually, you know what? I bonked on it. I'll grab it now. Yeah. Okay. And then the moon that's behind that building I'm going to grab after slots here. And typically those seeds take 20 real-time minutes to grow, but if I go into my system date and time here, I can update it by like a month or whatever. And then I can start this game again, and that'll get the seed to grow really fast. Also, there's wind here that makes slots harder. But I got it first try. Assuming I don't get blown out of the wind by the wind. That is going to make boxes slightly harder because I wasted 10... I had to spend 10 coins there, so... Just going to keep that in mind, but it shouldn't be an issue. And as you see, the seed's grown. But I'm going to come back for that moon in a second. Because I have to grab this one. I'm also going to be doing a slightly modified sand route from the vanilla... Or from the intended... or the speedrun route for this kingdom to get a couple of extra coins to buy the boxers. I do have that in mind. And I'll be able to buy the boxes before I leave this kingdom. I'm going to do this. Every coin counts. And then there's a moon here. And then they also... So, like, I think you're getting a good sense of, like, how these moons are still really quick, but, kind of changed to fit the vibe of Kaizo. Like, this moon is usually over in the Oasis area, but they put it right here. And then this nipple cactus coming up over here is also slightly more difficult. Because it's underneath this cactus. And then this moon is over on the other leaning pillar. Yep, on the other leaning pillar. And then there's a moon in this chest here. Oh, I dropped an input, so I didn't get over the cactus. So I think I did clip out of bounds with that. There's a... What you can do is called a moon clip if you backflip and throw cap with precise timing, but it doesn't really help me in that instance. Coins. And then there's a moon on this pillar. And then I want to come over here and go into the quicksand. There is an out-of-bounds clip I can use known as platform clip to grab this moon, but you'll notice whenever I sink underground here, this moon's midair, and that makes it a little bit harder to grab the moon out of bounds, so I just opt to not go for the clip. And then there's another clip I can do. If I come over here, and then hop over here, this is what is known as Sphinx clip. Oh, just give me a second to clip out of bounds here. I'm messing up my setup. Okay, come on. Come on, Mario. Small things like this is what I rust at. Really, this clip, I've never had this much trouble with this clip. He's not clipping. I'm shocked that one didn't work. There we go. Took a minute. That's what's known as Sphinx clip. Oh, and there's a guy in my way there. Oh, just die, please. Thank you. Okay. Give me the coins. I need all the coins. Okay, I have 1,000 coins now. Perfect. And then I'm gonna come out over on this side. Oh, I didn't get my wall jump right there. I'm gonna try that again. Whoa, what happened there? Mario, like, stubbed his toe. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's the movement I like to do to get this moon nice and safe. And then I can come around this way. And I actually have more coins than I need, so I'm just gonna do the regular route here. I was gonna sub out this sub here for a different one that has some coins in it, but... you know, okay, I'm gonna do a slight reroute, actually. I want to be really safe with my coin count, so I don't want to run out. Because even though I have to spend 1,000 coins for the boxers, but I also have to make sure I have coins for moons later in the run. So here, I'm going to grab one moon from this sub and then one from another one. Also, there's no invisible platforms here, so I have to just make sure I'm platforming very precisely here. And then I'm going to go out through the front door. And I'm going to go get another moon and a coin stack. And then I'm going to go buy the boxes and we can leave this kingdom. Right here, this area right here, the invisible maze. This moon is very easy. Which is another reason why I like this moon. It's just sitting right here. There's no difficulty to this moon. Coin stack right around this corner right here. And then I'm going to go buy the boxers. I have to warp here, and then we're going to enter the shop and spend 1,000 coins on the boxers. If I talk to this guy, and then go here, I can buy the boxers. Look at that. And I will change now. Oh, I already own that, yes. Okay, with that, we're done with Sand Kingdom. I'm going to warp back. Oh, can I? There we go, I can. And we're going to be moving on to Lake Kingdom now. Lake is a significantly quicker kingdom with not very many moons. But it's still a little bit tricky. There's still some hard stuff I do. Okay. Couple of cutscenes here. Lake, like I said, has a couple of quick moons, but there is one boss fight in particular I'm going to be doing. And that is the Ringo boss fight. And the Ringo boss fight is made significantly harder. But hopefully I can nail all the fast strats to still kill Ringo with ease and speed. You'll see at the end. I'll leave it as a little bit of a surprise. It's going to be the last 3 minutes I grab before leaving the kingdom. But first moon coming up here is just one that's just up in the air, so I'm going to have to do some vertical platforming to grab it. Nothing too crazy. Oh, kabonk. I'm going to do this. That'll work. And then I'm going to come over this way. And I can grab this fish. And I can grab a couple of underwater moons and then make my way up to the Ringo fight. Ooh. Also, this moon might look vanilla. Like I said, all 880 moons are changed. And I believe the change for that one is just that the Dory, like, swimming pattern is different. She swims differently throughout the kingdom. So not really much of a notable change there. This one is, obviously, there's way more, combo. Way more combo. That's the enemy name. Oh no, I have full health. Okay, I don't need that heart. I'm gonna grab it for the coins, though. Or not. Okay. There we go. And then that's the last moon I have to grab before I fight Ringo. I'm gonna come over here. More coins. Hold on. There we go. And then you'll notice there are spike bars throughout the fight here. So I have to hit him immediately there. Okay. This'll work. I don't like where he is specific. Oh my gosh, this is a mess. Okay, this is not going the way I wanted it to. Hold on. I am also on 1 HP here, which is not ideal. I'm probably dead. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I've never had that fight go like that before. I'm gonna try that again. No big deal. Luckily there's a checkpoint right here, so it's barely a time loss. Let's try this again. Okay, this will work. This is what I want. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. And then I can ground powder right through them here. And I can grab some of my coins back, too, after the fight. There we go. If that fight goes Australia in any way, you can see it's pretty much... It's really hard to back up. It's probably doable, but it's really hard. And with that, we're going to be moving on to Wooded. And luckily, Wooded isn't hard in the sense that I can die. There's not really many opportunities for me to die in Wooded. But it is a very hard platforming stage. And if I fall at any point in Wooded, you'll see I can lose a bunch of times. I'll be doing platforming very high up. Oh, bonk. Okay, so the first couple moons of Wooded are actually some of the more tricky runs, believe it or not. This entire kingdom is pretty rough, I'll be honest. Just in terms of difficulty. Luckily, like I said, though, I can't really die, so that's the one saving grace about this kingdom. But this first bit of movement is actually kind of like pixel tight, believe it or not, to get it to work. So I'm trying to land on top of a very tiny tree. And you'll see that right here, just to get a lot of height. There we go. If I did that the absolute fastest way, I would land on that without no ledge grab, but no big deal. Still very, very clean. I'm going to come over here now. And then there's going to be a rock in this tree. Oh, grab the rock. And then I'm just going to yeet it. And then I'm going to roll over here and meet the bunny right here to kill it really fast. Okay, then I need to find the rock. Right over here. And then I'm going to pay to win, and this is one of the reasons why I was trying to go out of my way for that Submarine Sand, just because I need a lot of points for the run. Especially with Boxers. The 800 coins I get in cap, believe it or not, is not enough. It helps quite a bit, though. And then I'll be going over here and capturing an uproot. I'm putting my camera up so the uproot spawns sooner, because the way this game works is if something's off-screen, it doesn't exist. So I have to on-screen that earlier to get a really fast capture. And I'm just climbing this tree. They made some extra platforms on this tree. Okay, I lost my uproot, but that's not an issue. Technically, you could do this all with Mario. It's just faster with the uproot. And a bit easier. There we go. Good backup. And then I'm going to land right here. I don't like how blind this is, how much the leaves get in the way, but, you know. Doing a bit of a vault to get over here. Oh, I missed that? Wow, I can't believe I missed that. I held back on the stick too much at the last second there, I guess. Not a hard backup. I can come over here. And I can just do this like the intended way. Instead of doing the fancy vault. And then there's a nut in this little alleyway here. There's a lot of nut mints you're going to see in Wooded. Over here. And then I'm going to do some long jumps. And then I'm going to come over here, and there's an invisible platform I can stand on over here on this wall. And then if I do some really fast jumps here on this ramp, I can climb it without the rocket flowers. And then I can do a triple jump around this corner to grab this moon. Oh, let's not fall. I think you can see what I mean about if I fall, I can lose a lot of time here. I'm just kind of suspended in the air for a lot of this movement. Oh, Not gonna fall, don't worry, I got this. Look at that back up. Ooh. And then there's a nut here I gotta grab. Outside of the maze instead of inside the maze. And then I get to do a fancy triple jump for this next nut. And now I'm going to be doing a trick known as Fire Road Skip to get across this gap. I had a bad setup there, so I'm going to do this. Oh, let's try that again. Oh, I don't trust that. I held back there. I don't know how I made that work. That was so scuffed. There we go. Lots of nuts here, like I said. Another nut right here. Doing some homing cap throws here to stay midair and make it into the tower here. And then this part's really fun. This part is actually not scary at all and very fun. Because I just get to do this not round tower, the wooded tower, rather. Without the upright, which is just very fun. Very fun platforming. And then typically it's hard to grab this moon with just Mario. Oh, in the base game, but... They lower... Oh, okay. Maybe it's hard to grab it with Mario now, too. There we go. They lowered it so you can grab it with Mario. I still struggled with it, though, anyway. And then I'm gonna... I pretend Spirit doesn't exist because I didn't grab the first Storming because it's really out of my way. And I'm just gonna vector down here. And grab this nut. I can't see. Oh, there we go. And then one more sub-area and we're going to be done with wooded. There's no platforms here, so I gotta be a little bit careful. And then this sub-area is really fun in the base game, but in this mod, they kind of just butchered it. You have moon gravity, no cappy, and the water cycle is like way faster. So it's not very fun in this mod. It's just a lot of damage boosting. There is a fast shot you could do, but it's like ridiculously hard, so I just don't bother. I kind of just hope for the best. I'll be honest, I don't really have much of a shot for this room. Other than just praying that it works. There we go. And with that, we're going to be on to Cloud. Making good progress so far. And Cloud is pretty much the same as Vanilla. There is a very slight change, but there's some strategies I can use to mitigate the change that you'll see and make it play out very similar to Vanilla and still be a very fast fight. If you don't know, Cloud is just a boss fight kingdom. We just go to Cloud and fight Bowser because he kind of gets in our way while we're on the Metro Kingdom here. And we also have to make a pit stop in Lost as well after Cloud. And then we get to go to Metro. And here we are in Cloud. Something small you'll notice as well that the devs did is they kind of changed the skybox to make it a lot prettier for some of these kingdoms, and I believe Cloud is one of those kingdoms. So you'll notice there's these clouds that Bowser likes to jump on now. This first phase, we just kind of do it the intended way. Grab the hat really fast and then let him jump down to us. And then if I roll over to the middle of the kingdom here, or the middle of the arena, should jump down to here, and I can just pretend the cloud platforms don't exist anymore. And I can do a strat known as fast hats here, where I backflip and then throw Cappy while I'm above the hat to grab it immediately. I think I was too slow here. No, I was not. Look at that. Easy kingdom. Okay, and now we're on to Lost. And Lost is still a very quick kingdom, like in vanilla, if you've seen regular 90% speedruns of this game. This kingdom is very quick, and they've definitely kept that theme for this mod as well. Lots of really quick moves for me to grab here. We should be in and out in only about, like, 3 minutes or so. I'm going to start the kingdom by doing a trick known as Meme Tree to get to this upper bit. And then I'm going to give Cappy to this Trapedal. I was not centered there. I'm going to have to do one extra throw. One extra explosion here. And this moon is behind the second bit of bricks here. You'll see this going spot, and then I have to pan my camera to figure out where to grab it. There we go. Because that moon does spawn inside the wall, so it's kind of hard to visualize if I don't pan my camera. And then there's a moon behind this block here. Oh, if I could squeeze in there. And then you'll notice, if you're an astute watcher or viewer, that there is a flower missing from cave gardening here. And that's because I have to jump all the way over here to hit that flower. Whoops. There we go. And that'll spawn the cave gardening moon. And now if I die at any point before I get back to cave gardening, I'm going to have to respawn that moon. So, gotta make sure not to do that. I messed up my triple jump here, but luckily I can just back it up with the vault. That'll work. Just playing it safe so I don't die here. There we go. Oh, I didn't get it. Oh, I was so close. Okay, I was trying to off-screen that butterfly so I could hit it with Cappy, so I didn't have to do the camera run up to respawn it. That's really tricky. That's something new I'm trying to do. It's really tricky, though. Because I just have to do blood and platforming there. There we go. There's that cave gardening we know I was talking about. And I'm going to come over here, and there should be a moon right here. If I could grab it, there we go. Underneath that ledge. And then there's another one off the side of the map here. And then I want to go into the 2D section here. This part's a little bit tricky. Really tight platforming there. I'm going to fall straight down. Work to the Odyssey. And there's one more moon behind the Odyssey here, and we'll be done with Lost. And what I was doing there is throwing Cappy back and then shaking to home into the globe so I can teleport after I grab that moon. And we're going to be moving on to Night Metro here. Which is another very quick kingdom. There is a bit of a platforming gauntlet that I'm going to have to do here. Hopefully I don't screw it up and lose a bunch of time. Okay. But whenever we start off this kingdom here, we're going to do a jump known as the People's Jump. Or the Impossible Jump, one or the other, it's called both. Because you'll notice that the wire doesn't take you down to the mainland anymore. So I'm going to have to jump down to it. Yeah, as you can see, that wire takes you up top now. It takes you nowhere. So I'm going to do a fancy looking triple jump here. This jump is actually very easy. It's not impossible at all, but... Well, I always hop on the scooters somehow. Back in 2017, that jump was considered impossible, believe it or not. And now I'm doing what's known as left row. Just climbing the left side of Metro. Because that is the faster side to climb. That's fine. One bonk never hurt anyone. And then I can triple jump up here. I'm gonna go on my way to kill these 3 flies because they can be a bit problematic. They can fly into me and hurt Mario. There we go. That platforming can be a little bit tight. And now this is the platforming gauntlet I was talking about. I have to climb City Hall without any, like, the platforms. Just the crumbling ones. There is a slightly faster platform cycle I could get there, but that one's fast enough. Inconsistent. Oh. And then I'm hopping over to these blocks, and then I could go back to the left here, and there's going to be a chest all the way up top here for me to grab that has a moon in it. Oh, are you kidding me? I knew I shouldn't have backflipped. That is so unfortunate. That's just a value dive. There's not much I can do there. Sometimes if you dive at cap bait, Mario just misses. There's not really much I can do there. We'll just do it again. Okay, second try. I almost missed that platform. Can I please spin pound? There we go. Okay. The game is definitely making me work for it in this climb here. Oh, I guess I got a couple of coins there. That looked like it was gonna miss. Are you kidding me again? I got a second. Oh my god. I'm just getting so unlucky. It's unreal. That was again not my fault. That is ridiculous. I've never had that happen before. That is a ridiculous sequence. Okay, third time's the charm. Can Mario please cooperate? Please let us grab. That'll work. Okay, I'm gonna be ultra safe here this time. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. There we go. Wow, that was way harder than it needed to be. Ridiculous. Okay, not done yet. I have to do this long jump across City Hall here. And then land in the door. There we go. Perfect. And that is the hardest part of this Metro portion done. Typically, I have to fight the Micro boss fight, but if I knock this guy's hat off, you'll notice in a second here. Grab this checkpoint for later. Give it a second. Now, there we go. The multi-moon just spawns, and that's because whenever the mod developers were trying to modify the Mecha Wiggler boss fight to make it harder, it would just crash the mod just because of the program they were using. So they just replaced it with a regular Wiggler. And if you just despawn it, that spawns a multi-moon. So that's like the only instance of Moon being easier in the mod than it is in the base game. But now we're on to Day Metro. And Day Metro has a lot of really fun moons. There's some sub-areas I'm going to be going into here. Lots of fun movement. But once again, we're going to be starting off with doing the impossible jump here right at the very start. Just like this. Big vector. Oh, bonk. There we go. More coins. Can never have enough coins. I didn't get it. I was trying to go for another one of those mid clips so to clip into that wall there and skip a wall jumping up here. It's very precise and tight to make that work. Wow, I think that's there's that water tower there that I always run into. I think that's the first time I've not run into that water tower. And then we're spending 100 more coins to buy this moon. I think our coin count's looking good for the run. I should have enough for the rest of the run. Maybe. I think. think I need 40 more coins before I reach luncheon, but that should be doable. And you'll notice that I have to use the RC car here. Typically, in regular 9% speedruns, you would use the scooter to clip into the cage there, but they turned the cage around and put them in the ground, so you can't use the scooter to clip in there anymore. Oh. Grab them in, please. And now we're going to be going into the bullet building sub-area. And the way they changed this one, you'll notice, is if I long jump over here, they put this little dumpster below the platform here rather than on top of it. So I gotta hit it with a down throw. That's not gonna work. There we go. Hold on. Can I... There we go, I'll take those. And then I'm gonna be coming up here. There's a moon underneath this AC unit, and then the one after this one, not this one, but the next one is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna be doing some blind platforming. Hopefully I can hit the moon. It's underneath this little Gerber sandwich platform here. There we go, and it's not done yet because I could still die, so I have to do this to survive. And then we're going to be going into City Hall here again, or the Magician's Room. The Auditorium, that's what it's called. And then there's a moon around this current in here. And I warp up top. And then there's a moon below this little platform here. I screwed up my movement slightly. You'll notice a theme of this mod is that if the mods don't know, or the developers don't know where to put a moon, they typically just throw it underneath something. Really? There we go. Also, the trick for that moon, or not... There's a bunch of hidden Mecha Wiggler scrap pieces throughout the kingdom, and that's the one with the moon. There we go. And then we get to say hi to our good old pal Captain Toad here. I think I actually just saved time by having this camera angle, by the way. Typically the camera likes to pan a bit. But somehow I just got the camera not to pan there. Save like a second. Bonk. I did not get in the door like I wanted there. And then this is the people room. Typically there's only 2 moons here in the base game, and then the third one to add in post-game, but for whatever reason this moon that's underneath those boxes that's supposed to be a post-game moon is just added here now. So we get 3 moons for this area rather than 2. Can I hit this lever? Oh my gosh. There we go. And I have to kind of pull that lever from a little bit further away there because this timer is tighter. But still not a problem. Okay, let me try that again. There we go. And with that, we're done with Metro. We're moving on to Snow. Snow is a very deadly kingdom. There's definitely a handful of spots on Snow I can die at, so hopefully I can nail everything. Okay. Done with Metro, and that is also the halfway point of the run. Just about, I would say. Half the kingdoms are now completed. And snow actually starts out with a little bit of a trick jump here. You're gonna see that there is some poison waves I have to dodge in Snow Kingdom. So I'll be doing a bit of a trick jump to dodge those. And they also move the entrance to Shiveria to, like, the back corner of the kingdom, so I'm gonna have to make my way over there. Okay, triple jump. Oh, I did die to that wave. My angle was off. That wave covers up the platform, so it's kind of hard to visualize exactly where it's at sometimes. I got it this time. There we go, just barely. And then I'm going to come over here just to make sure to dodge the wave. There we go. And then I'm going to be coming up here. Hi, Beach. Doing a trick jump known as Blowy Noey now. And this is just to get inside of Shiveria. A little bit of precise movement here. There we go. Trying to get like a vault off the wall there, essentially. It's really precise. And then this one's also a little bit finicky. Because if I break any of the boxes, I can't really grab this next moon. Because it's really high up in the sky there. Really high up in the ceiling. And then another pay-to-win moon here. Oh, talk to the guy. I guess I should also point out that the life of parts are impossible to buy. They're 10,000 coins. And these moons are 101 coins. Then I'm going to come over on this pole here. And there's a chest up in the sky here. And then we can come over to this moon shard sub-area, or Bifrost, or whatever you want to call it. And I'm only going to be grabbing the one moon here. We're not grabbing the shards. The shards is really slow. And there's a moon, another chest that's just suspended midair here. I just jumped off the chest there as it opened. That was really weird. And then I'm going to come over to my side here and bust open this crate. Grab this moon. And then we're going to come over to the poison room here. Long jump behind these guys. Capture this blowy Joey. And then below the stair, because the moon's hidden underneath. And then this moon is just pretty much the same as vanilla. Just gotta blow all the spinies off the edge here. And then with that, we have one more sub-area to visit here in Shiveria. This moon is considered harder, though, because of all the stuff beforehand, I believe. So, even though it looks the same as vanilla, it's still just a tiny bit harder. Okay, we're gonna be going into the Goomba room here. I didn't get the vault I wanted there. Luckily, I can do some trick jump movement, and it doesn't even matter. Nice movement there. To climb up really fast. And then I'm going to drop down with this icicle here. Got the Story Moon. And then I'll be stacking some Goombas to grab the second moon in the sub-area. Grab the skooma, and then we can come over and grab the fourth one over this way. Doing some jumps and vectoring at the Goombas just to move them a little bit faster. And then we're going to have to do... Oh my god, don't die. Oh my gosh. Almost slipped off the edge. For the last minute, we're going to be warming back to the Odyssey and doing a trick known as Snowjam here. Just a bit of doing a vault to cross over this gap. This is not how you're intended to grab this moon, but that's the fast way of grabbing it. Gonna get my vault there. Sometimes if Cappy's too far off the edge, you don't get the vault. It's a bit precise. Almost first try there. Very close. I'm also used to doing this moon on Chinese now, and I'm on English, so my camera setup there is a bit different. It makes visualizing, or it makes the camera look a bit different, and makes getting the mid-air vectors a bit harder. There we go, second try. I'll take that. Oh, missed Cappy in the air there. And we're going on to Seaside, and Seaside's a very fun platforming kingdom because they remove the water in it. So instead of it being a boring water level, it's a fun platforming level. And it's also not too tricky either. I would say Seaside is the last easy kingdom we have before Luncheon Ruin, Bowser's and Moon, which are all very difficult. Just gotta skip a couple of cutscenes here. Okay. And the first one we're gonna grab, I mentioned earlier when we were in Sand Kingdom, is this Rumble Road Moon. And if you remember, like I said, this moon's gonna be in the sand spot, so it's up at the top left here. So nice and easy, not a hard moon. And then next up's gonna be a Grandpa Moon that's straight ahead of me here. Or not a Grandpa Moon, it's just a moon that's hanging out in the open here, straight ahead. We're here. I think I'm on the top ledge here too. I am, so I can get a spin pound off. Nice. Oh, I missed the pipe. So close. I'm gonna be able to get some coins in this room too, which is good. And then we're coming up here. Dodge this spike bar. And open up this chest for another moon. Missing the moon. Grab it. That did not work out in my favor. It's okay, I don't need to see to grab it. I need one more coin, I believe, for the shop moon and luncheon. I think I have enough. I slipped, but I still made it up. Just abusing janky geometry there to make it up top, and then doing a bit of a trick jump to get over to Toad here. That was really close to not working. That was a really whack angle I got. And then doing some mid-air movement to grab... Oh, no, I missed it. That sucks. You know what? I have a backup in mind. I can actually still grab that moon, I think, if I'm good at... You know what? Dory's gonna come over here. Watch this. Just give Dory a minute. Yeah, Dory's making her way. I think I can still grab it right here, though, if I'm good at the game. Yeah, there we go. Get back up there. I was just shy on grabbing that moon. I'm going to drop down a little bit here, but nothing too crazy. Like, as you can see, no water, so I can make my way up very quickly there. And then this moon is like a damage boost moon. There's just like a million spec bars here, so you just gotta take a hit on the way in and on the way out. Where am I? I'm going the wrong way. I may die. Let's not. Okay, I made it out. Wait, I think, yeah, this is the right way. Okay, sorry, I got turned around there big time. Both sides look the same. And this is another damage boost moon where I just kind of run into these eels and hope it works out. Make it. Okay, and now we're on to the platforming gauntlet, or I guess it is a bit of platforming, but this is the gauntlet that is all RBM, Lynch and Ruin, Bowser's Moon. All these kingdoms are stupid brutal. So, pretty much every single moon is a challenge here on Luncheon, and then you'll see Ruin and Bowser's Moon are all really hard too.
I will let you focus on the start of this here and jump in. Just want to welcome anyone who's joining us. Breaking the Habit is a charity marathon of speedrunners that supports the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. If you hit !donate, there's a bunch of prizes and bonus incentives and some polls that I'll go over real quick. The polls that we still have open is we have Plywood Cows Space Jam A New Legacy run coming up later today, and there's a character selection. Currently, Lola Bunny is winning. The other options are Bugs Bunny or LeBron James. So I think we should all donate to get Bugs Bunny because, Bugs. The other polls that we have open are for Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City that Fiery, and I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, is running later today as well. And there's an option to defend Leon or don't defend Leon. And then the other poll we have open is to play as a boy or girl in Desert Eagles BS Zelda run later. And then the last poll that's still open is whether we save the dog or not in Resident Evil 4, which is our kind of ending run for the 2-day event tonight. So those polls, again, you hit !donate, they come up along with the polls that you get to vote for. We do have a array of prizes. That's starting out with their $10 minimums or higher, depending on the item. But to start out, we have a DMC figure bundle kit, DMC figure bundle. We have a Sonic Squashmallow, a amazing Chester Bennington painting that was so kindly donated by Beck Beware, a Pokemon TCG bundle, and a Switch 2 bundle that you can all put your money towards as well. And then lastly, we do have some targets that we're trying to reach, which means the Save the Dog that I mentioned earlier in the poll, that's a $0 to $200 kind of target. And then the Make the Golem Dance in the Haunting Grounds run that we have coming up later is a $100 target. So those are all just things to kind of help incentivize you to donate to such a good cause. And I will let Cheesy continue to go through the gauntlet here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that was Spirit. Nice and easy. I should also mention we did a bit of magic there with the Goombat there. Typically, you're supposed to use 4 Goombas, but the developers only give us 1, so I have to do some platforming with the Goomba there to get a bunch of speed and make it up. That's one of my... Now that I know how to do that moon really fast, I really like that Goombat moon. Especially when I get it first try like that. And there's a moon. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. I've never slipped like this before. I can save it. Oh, my gosh. What was that? There's a moon on the side of the mountain. Oh, that was wacky. I believe I have 100 coins, so I don't need that coin stack. Yeah, oh, more than enough. So another pay-to-win moon here. And then this next moon is probably my least favorite in the kingdom. It's not really super tricky, it's just really finicky and precise. And you'll see why here. First of all, I want to kill this plant, and then I want to get rid of this guy. There we go. And then there's a crate that's underneath in this alcove here, below this platform. So I need to throw Cappy down there. And getting this within a couple of tries can be pretty tricky. And the movement to hit this crit with Cappy is very precise. There we go, second try. Not too bad. And this is another very tricky moon coming up here. I have to grab this turnip and then bring it over here because I have to throw it over this massive gap here. Oh, just almost first try. Barely stubbed my toe. Let's try that again. Let's throw that a little bit this way. Come on. This is what I mean. This grabbing the turnip with speed can be a bit finicky. There we go. There we go. And that's, I need this turnip over here because I'm going to be doing a trick known as platform clip. I'm going to kill that spiny just like that. Or platform clips, turnip clip. Oh my god, so many clip names. And you capture this Pambro, and then you see I put the turnip right against this cage here. Uncapture, recapture, and I should clip in within a couple of tries here. Come on, give it to me. Okay. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna have to reset up this turnip. Every time I bounce on it, it gets further away from the wall. Come on. Give me the... This is being a bit annoying. Clip into the cage, please! This is like the only way to grab this moon. That should work. I'm flabbergasted. There we go. That took way too long. Okay. And that's what I mean about this kingdom. A lot of the moons are hard, and a lot of them can go well, but then you'll just hit a moon like this where stuff will just break for no reason. And then I need this Pambro again, so he's gonna respawn over here. I can capture him again. Don't take damage. And then there's a moon underneath this cheese right here. How did that not spawn it? Oh my gosh, okay. This game is being... No, I killed him. I'm gonna need to grab him again. Okay, over this way now. Break open this cheese. And then there's some shards that I need to grab here. I always forget there's one in the door there. And then there's also another hidden moon in this room as well. Oh, I thought I was going to grab it there. There we go. Oh, I got both of them there? That's crazy. And then I need to come over here, not forget to spawn this moon for later. Oh, I missed it. Let's try that again. There we go, second try. Got it. Landed right on the moon, and then we can leave and go to the next sub area. Oh, don't forget the moon. I've done that before. Oh, that was a good catch. Almost forgot the shards in there. If I come up here and then do a vault with Cappy here, I can get over this really big lava gap and make it over to the Forks room. And this room can be a bit finicky and precise. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. So I have to land on top of that fork flinger to make it further up in the Forks room. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay, and then I have to do a bit of a trick jump to grab the first moon here. Heading over here. And then I'm setting up Cappy here. Doing a bit of a triple throw there. Just a very fast grab through midair to stall Mario and get over to this moon. And then I should be able to grab this moon. Perfect. Almost done with Luncheon. Falling down here. And then warping. That is the fastest I've ever done that movement. Holy crap, that worked out flawlessly. Okay, 4 more moons left. We just gotta make it up over to the meat platform over this way. And we don't want to grab the meat right away because the last moon is right next to it right here. Bonk. And with that, we're done with Luncheon. 3 kingdoms left in the run. Well, not quite yet. I have to come over here. Okay, we're moving on to Ruined. And typically Ruined is a boring auto-scroller, but in this mod it absolutely is not. It is brutally difficult. And if I fail it at all, I could be losing multiple minutes. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It's very important that I nail everything in Ruined here first try. And you'll see why whenever we get there, but if you remember back in Night Metro, it is another only up platforming gauntlet. So if I, like I said, if I fail at any point, I'm just dying and going back to the start of it. There is no checkpoints. And the boss fight at the end of the climb is also really difficult. Come on, there we go. Like I said, I'm on version 1.0 of the game, so it loads very slow. I'm also on a Switch one. Let's just mention that. Okay, here we go. Ruined Kingdom. Lots of really precise platforming here. This little bit of movement I came up with on my own, where I can do a triple throw to wall jump off it, so I don't need to get the height to make it over that lip, because it's very precise to make it on top of this platform without that wall jump. Sorry if I'm a bit quiet here. I really need to lock in to make sure I don't screw any of this up.
Oh, good. I will read a little some excerpts on the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is the charity that this speedrun supports. American Foundation for Suicide Prevention focuses on public education. The organization educates the public and professionals about mental health, risk factors, and warning signs of suicide. Signature programs include Talk Saves Lives and More Than Sad for teens and educators. They also do a lot of advocacy. They work with public officials to promote policies and legislation for mental health and suicide prevention at the federal, state, and even local levels. And then obviously they also focus on support for lost survivors.
Oh, no.
So they provide resource and programs for those that have lost a loved one to suicide, including healing conversations, a program that will connect lost survivors with trained peer volunteers. So they're really involved at the prevention level, but also at the after a tragedy level too. So they're doing about everything they can to try to be involved at all steps of what can happen throughout tragedies. So they're also even involved on community engagement level. They have nationwide Out of the Darkness walks where it's kind of like a fundraising awareness event. So again, they're a really good organization that is trying to just I always say if they can save one life, then it's totally worth doing. And so it's very much their focus. And then
Oh no.
obviously providing resources for those that are unfortunately impacted by the loss of a loved one.
Good save. Okay, well that was a really scary moment. That was a really good save on my part. Luckily, I've done this Ruined Kingdom climb a million times, so I am very aware of how to save just about anything here in this kingdom. Let me try that again. I don't like that angle. Okay, making my way back up. You might think it'd be safe to land, or easier to land on top of that rotating platform there, but it's moving really fast, so I don't like doing that. Okay, let's try this, and then this. Oh no, not again, really? I was short again? I should be able to save this again, though. Okay, I'm just losing a lot of time in this kingdom. As long as I'm not dying, that's really what matters. Very unfortunate mistakes there, though.
Definitely. Well, oh, sorry. I'll let you focus on climbing back up. I do want to give a shout out to, obviously, as I've done in the chat there, ! VGTP, very long time supporter, and they are very pivotal in getting all these awesome prizes we have. So thank you very much to Video Game Trading Post in Pensacola, Florida, not only for just the long term support of just being a supporter of the event and helping out in any way you can. Obviously, donating the prizes, which is like the Switch 2 bundle. They give 10% of their sales at their store in Pensacola, Florida during the event. I also want to thank Beck Beware has provided the fantastic Chester Bennington painting that you can win. Very awesome prize there. We have Magic Cart Collectibles as well, donated the Pokemon card bundle, which is a PSA graded 10 Japanese Glaceon EX special art, special rare art or art rare. Again, not a Pokemon card collector, so I'd make sure I mess that up. And then also a trainer box. And then obviously want to thank all of the runners for being a part of it. Again, as we go throughout this weekend, and obviously we're early into day 2 still. There's a lot of things that it takes a village to put all this on, and for the great cause that we just talked about. So, yeah.
Oh, bonk. Okay, so now I'm onto the Rune Dragon fights here. There are 3 dragons here I have to kill, but after you kill the first one, it becomes significantly easier, and you'll see why here. I should be able to get... Maybe... I'm not going to be able to get this off. I got 1 sword pull, though, so not the end of the world. If I didn't bonk there climbing the first dragon, I would have been able to get more swords there on the second one. And I'm just using wall stalls here to dodge everything. If I just spam cap you on this wall, nothing is really much of a threat to me. Doing whatever I can to make this fight easier. Because if I die at any point in this fight, I'm going back to the start of the climb I just completed. I should be able to get a couple of sword pulls here. And a ground pound. Look at that. Give me 1. There we go. I got 1 there. I'll take it. Okay, 1 hit there. Not the end of the world. Okay, there's 1 dragon down. 1 of 3. And you'll notice that now that I have 1 dragon down... Well, actually, I'll be able to showcase it here after this phase, probably. Maybe. Can I spin pound, please? I'm having trouble spin pounding here. Okay, I should be able to make this cycle here. For this one. And now I'm kind of just multitasking 2 dragons rather than 3 here. You'll notice now that I have this dragon dead, I can kind of just stand on its corpse, and I don't have to worry about dodging anything. But I still want to go fast here, so I'm going to jump a little bit early to make sure I pull that sword as soon as I possibly can. Without taking a hit. And that's 2 dragons down. Now I just have to focus on a third. There we go. That's 2 phases down on this dragon. We only need 1 more. And I'm going to be landing on this corpse over here. Dragon corpse. Actually, according to game lore, these dragons aren't dead. I just concussed them really badly. If you come back, the dragon just sits here very concussed. I can take this hit. I'm going to do it. I wanted to play that safe. I wasn't sure if I was going to take a second hit if I jumped too early. There we go. Fight's done. That's ruin done. Everything first try, even though the climb was a bit messy, but I didn't die. That's typically how my ruin climb goes. I either get it, like, perfectly, or it's really messy like it was today, but I don't die. Oh, I forgot I spawned midair here. Got them in. There we go. Okay, Bowser's is definitely still difficult, but it's a bit of a breather in comparison to this Kingdom and Moon. In the final stretch here of this run. Okay, on to Bowser's. And Bowser's is kind of broken up into sections if you've seen the vanilla run. I can't really skip any of the story moons. That's not really something the game allows. So we're going to be going through and collecting all the story moons. And a lot of them are changed to be either look different or like slightly more difficult. Some of the boss fights in particular are a bit more difficult, but none of them are nothing I can't handle. They're all definitely doable and consistent. Okay. And this first moon is going to be over on the Ogre Island, so I just got to make my way over there. Jump. There we go. Up to that first wire. And then the first moon's on this next island over here. I gotta make my way around back, because typically you only have to kill 1 ogre on the vanilla game. But in this run, you'll notice there's an ogre around back. And you might be wondering why I'm going over here to grab this Pokio. That's because if you poke the ogre, you can kill it like that, and that is the only way you're able to kill that particular ogre. The devs wanted to show off some niche game knowledge there. You can actually do that in the vanilla game. Just poke the ogres right in their head there with the birds. Not a lot of people know that. And that second one we could just kill by ground pounding. And now we're going to be making it over to the Shards Island, and of course all the shards are in slightly different spots, but none of them are too tricky. This is more of just like a visual change than like a difficulty type change. Okay, come over here. There should be another moon, by the way, up here that I need to grab. Oh, good bonk. Oh, Goomba's trying to hurt me. That's it, yellow Goombas. And you'll notice this first shard is off to my right here, so I'm going to roll over here. Throw Cappy and grab it. And then this next shard I actually need a bird for, so I'm going to capture it. I'm going to kill this one just so it's on my way. Perfect, that was really fast. And then I'm going to be making my way up here for the next one. I do not need those blocks. And then this next one's on the roof right here. Oh my god, I rolled off, of course. I can back that up quite easily, though. There we go. Dodging the bombs here, and then jumping off this cliff. Okay, I need this bird to come closer. If I kill this bird, it does not respawn, so I need to be careful about that. I don't think it's the way I'm supposed to go, actually, now that I think about it, but it is a way. It works. And then the last short is around back this way. Okay, I'm falling. That's fine. I typically like to grab that with a down throw, but that works too. I have to make it back on top, that's why. Oh, come on, give that to me. Okay, I guess that's not something you can do. I have to go this way. I tried to be fast about it. And with that, we're going to be moving on to the bunnies fights. These fights are definitely more difficult than vanilla, but they're not too crazy. Like I said, this is definitely the breather kingdom between Ruined and Moon. Before that, though, I can't forget there's one more Moon I gotta grab. Gotta throw Cappy. Oh, don't do that. I want to throw Cappy back like this, and then grab this Moon, and then I could chick to home in after the cutscene ends, and Mario will teleport back up to the wire. Well, go, please. And these bunny fights are made more difficult because the floor is lava. Look at that. So I'm going to be doing Topper first over here. Luckily, they do give us some platforms, so not the entire floor is lava. Oh, I tried to bounce on his hat there. Oh, I ran into that hat. Okay. Oh, I'm just killing Mario is what I'm doing by trying to be... Okay. Okay. That was silly. That was incredibly silly. I tried to be really fast and I ended up killing Mario. No big deal. Back here, but that's not a problem. This camera's really wacky there for some reason. Let's try it again. I'm gonna play this smarter this time. There we go. That's how you do that fast strat. He's getting really close to me. I don't like that. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I'll just knock all his hats off. Okay, the hats are not cooperating. Oh my god. He moved. He moved. He moved. There's nothing I could have done. Oh, like, the frame I went to die if he moved. He's got the dukes. I've never had this fight go this badly before. It's supposed to be the easy part of the run. Come on now. It's not supposed to be that hard. Okay, I got it this time. Don't worry. There you go. That's how you do that fast. There we go. I thought I had him there. Okay. Hit the hat! Oh my god, Cappy, cooperate. I still see which one he is. Yeah. Okay, that'll work, that'll work. There we go, that'll work. Third try's the charm, look at that. Luckily those tests aren't not too punishing in terms of time. And then this next fight's a bit easier. I have to do some precise platforming, by the way, because these hitboxes lava hitboxes, while they may look like a circle, there's no such thing as a circle lava hitbox in Mario Odyssey. They're actually a big rectangle, or a big square. So they extend over the corners a bit. And then right here, perfect. And then I want to come back over here. Oh, I don't like the way she's hopping, it should still work. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And then there's going to be a bomb right here. One more bomb to knock back into her. There we go. Easy fight. That fight is significantly easier than the topper one. Okay, we're halfway through Bowser's now. There is one more boss fight I gotta do, and that is the Mecha Brutal boss fight. And if you're catching on to the theme here, that one is also gonna have a Floor is Lava theme. But luckily, I can just do the speedrun strats that are used in regular any percent to kill that boss, so it's not any different for me personally. The intended strat for this mod is just to use the regular speedrun strat, so I get a bit of a breather here, luckily. It's still definitely a hard speed strat, and I could die to the fight still if I mess it up, but it's something I've been doing for years, so hopefully it isn't too big of an issue. But before I get there, though, I gotta climb vertically a bit here to get to the top of the kingdom. Jump over here, and then I gotta capture this bird. There we go. And then this platform's moving really fast, so I can just peck onto it and wait. Okay, now we're going to be starting the Mecha Brutal fight, just like that. That climb's very quick. As long as everything goes well, that is. And there's the lava I was talking about. And now we're just going to be climbing this mech with Mario, trying to beat it really fast. Oh, missed my spin pound there. Second try. That could have been catastrophic. Got a bit lucky there that I got saved by the other flop there. And now I'm going to be standing right here, so the mech rams its head into the side of the wall of the arena here twice. Rather than, like, roaming around the arena aimlessly. Just a bit of a minute. It was too early, I always am. How did I hit that? That's crazy. That last trick is known as target acquired. I don't know how I hit that with that camera angle. That's ridiculous. I have a very particular visual cue I'm supposed to use with a different camera angle, but I kind of just winged it and it worked out. That was really funny. Okay, and with that, we have one kingdom left on the run, Moon Kingdom, and then we are completely done.
Fantastic. I'm going to jump in here. We do have one donation to announce. It is donated by What's Up Doc, and for a total of $11 with a comment of Bugs Bunny Baby, and that puts Bugs Bunny $1 ahead of Lola Bunny for the character selection for Plywood Cow's Space Jam speed run later on in the day. So those Lola Bunny fans, you gotta I guess top Bugs Bunny. So that is an update. All right, back to you.
Okay. Okay, moving on to Moon Kingdom here. Oh, can I globe, please? Thank you. And the Moon Kingdom, like I said, is another brutally difficult kingdom. The Bowser fight in particular is really, really hard. So, hopefully I can nail it first try here. If you remember back in Snow Kingdom with what they did to the overworld with the poison waves, they've brought that back for the Bowser fight, so I kind of have to dodge poison waves while I'm fighting Bowser. And it can be quite tricky. But, I should be able to nail it first try, hopefully. Just gotta travel to Moon first, and before we actually start Moon, you're gonna notice, after this cutscene here... Hold on, let me skip the cutscene. 1.0 loads very slow. Oh no, Mario's not in the boxes anymore. Whatever will we do? Let me skip this cutscene, and then talk to Cappy. I do look dapper, but I don't want to look dapper, so I'm gonna go this way, and change back into the boxers. Can't forget that. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's Firebirds here now. Oh my god, get out of my way. Open it, please. There we go. I forgot about that. Every time I enter the Odyssey in this mod, I forget about that. There we go. Just ignore that. And now what I'm going to be doing is known as the bomb vectors, or the bomb vector. Just doing a big triple jump with the vector to get over this gap really fast. Oh, okay, I almost rolled off the edge there. How did that bonk? I want to hear it. Okay, and typically, if I come around back here, there's a Sphinx, and I use him to do a trick known as Mooncave Skip. But you'll notice the Sphinx is no longer here. Luckily, I can still do Moon Skip without him. I just gotta do some little bit of tricky mid-air movement. There we go, first try. And now we can enter the chapel and do the Bowser fight. Just a bit of rolling. Okay. Bowser fight, here we go. I also have to make sure I'm timing my hits very specifically here, so you're going to see me wait here. And that's because Bowser can do this thing known as wave riding, I like to call it, where you'll notice he's on a question mark block there. If I knock him off the block, he'll ride the waves and kind of just ride away and make it like almost impossible for me to hit him. And I'll have to like, it'll be really hard to back up. So I'm just timing my hits very precisely because of that. I also have to make sure I'm always manipulating him back to this specific platform right here. Oh, how did I miss that? That's ridiculous. I thought that was perfect. Okay, this is just time offs. Like I said, I don't really want to fight him on this one, so I'm just gonna... I'm gonna hit this hat and then just let him come back on his own terms. Perfect, okay. There we go. I was almost late again there. And then now...
We do have another donation to announce here. We've got a donation from the name Lola with the comment of "Don't ever call me doll," for an amount of $5. And as you can kind of guess, that is $5 towards Lola Bunny. So Lola is now back in the lead as the character choice in the Space Jam speed run coming up later today. But time will tell what character gets picked.
There we go. Okay. Oh my god, that was almost bad. Oh no, he's wave riding. Yeah. Ah, that was the last phase too. That's a very unfortunate death. Okay. No big deal, we can try again. I should still be coming in underestimate here. Yeah, I should still be coming in underestimate. As long as I nailed on this try. Two. That's another fight that takes a lot of my focus, so I excuse my silence a little bit here. But yeah, just doing some dodging of the fire here now. This is I know I'm going like above and beyond to dodge this fire, but all you have to be is midair there. It's just a force scan. Again? Again? That is crazy. I am just getting hecked over here. Okay, third try. A lot of what I've been doing is third try, so I'll get it this try. Luckily, I played the rest of this run clean enough to give me a bit of leeway on this final boss way here. Oh, that'll still work, I think. No, it won't. I have to kill Mario. Fourth try. Unfortunately, I hit that brown block there. That brown block is such a troll. On rare occasion, I can hit it like that, and it just becomes such a hassle. Okay. Okay, I got it this try for sure. I'm locked in. This is the last hard thing in the run, though, I should mention. So after I kill Bowser here, the rest of the run is kind of just home free. Or at least it should be. That'll work. This wave is getting really close to me. I didn't like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, 2 of 3. 2 phases out of 3 done. Perfect. No! No! That wave just didn't cooperate. Oh my gosh. 3rd phase again. Wow, I'm losing a lot of time to this fight at the very end. That was just a very unfortunate sequence. I was on a particularly bad wave pattern cycle there. If I wait too long, Bowser will jump away. And because this is, I should mention, this is also the Wii Fight version of the fight, so there's more hits I have to do, or more times I have to punch him, and there's less time you can wait before he jumps away. So it's really tight on that last phase to get everything to line up. And if I'm slightly off on the wave cycle, it can become particularly difficult. Hopefully I can nail it here, though. Oh my gosh, I almost killed Mario. Sometimes this fight just does not like to cooperate. There we go, that's how I like to do that. Oh my god, he's wave riding again, but I think I have it. No, I don't. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm just struggling. I am just hitting a wall here, and I'm struggling. I'm hitting a wall. Nothing is working. Oh my gosh. I timed this second hit just slightly off. Come on, Jay. That's awesome. Missed the dive. Lock in. Lock in, lock in, lock in. I got this. I guess you can see why this mod, I'm doing a really good job of showcasing why this mod is so brutally difficult. Because stuff like this can happen where I just get hit a wall and I can't do a certain part of it. Even though I've done it hundreds of times before. Perfect. Okay, I got it. This is the one. 2 phases down again. I got it this time. Where's the hack gonna spawn? Perfect, that'll work. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. What a save. Oh. Just like sank. Okay. Please. Home stretch here. There we go. Okay, that took way too long. Way too long on that fight, but that's okay. It happens. Okay, final stretch of the run here for only like 2 minutes of gameplay. I should not die on it or anything on this part. This part's pretty home free. Pretty easy. Okay. So now I have captured Bowser. We're in the escape sequence. Oh, you'll notice there's more rocks here for me to break with Bowser. And something cool they did for the final bit here is they made it so it's like a platforming gauntlet with Bowser. Luckily, none of these jumps are anything too crazy. I'm using an old monitor and it is very red. I'm just noticing for this part. Everything's kind of blending together, but it's okay. Okay. Just gotta break a bunch of blocks here. There we go, claw that. And then we're gonna be entering into the 2D section. And because this is a casual mod, there's gonna be blocks blocking a lot of stuff, and it's forcing the fastest speedrun movement, essentially. So I'm gonna be doing a trick here known as 2D skip. If I just jump here, and then jump on top of this block. Okay, I have to die. That's great news. I didn't mean to break that block. Okay, I guess I am dying on this section, too. I don't know why, but this 2D skip movement has always been giving me trouble recently. I've been doing it for, like, literally 8 years. It's so weird about, like, speedrunning is so weird in the sense that you could be doing something forever, and sometimes it'll just give you issues for no reason. Even though you've been doing it the same way for years. But it's okay, I'm gonna get right back there right now. That was not a big time loss at all. At least in terms of a casual mod. Yeah, like literally back there right now. Look how fast that was. I even broke those blocks faster than last time. Okay, I'm gonna hit it this time. I'm not gonna get walled on this too. This Moon Kingdom has been especially brutal today. Okay, nice and slow. There we go. No need to rush anything. I have to land on the very edge here. There we go. And I've died enough, so I'm gonna put this really safe. If I jump and the fireball hits the wall at the same time, it can drop my jump input. And I'm not trying to risk anything at this point. There we go. And now we're in the final room of the game. This is the Pillars room. Time's gonna end whenever I shoot out of the wire in the middle of the kingdom after knocking down all 4 pillars. So in about a minute or so time. I'm gonna try to play this as safe as I can so I don't die. There we go. We have to hit this pillar first because we never really come near it. This is the closest we come to it, so we do that one first. Really? Really? Come on. There we go, that'll work. I forgot I had to shoot too. There we go. Then we knock this one that's right next to me. And then there's one straight ahead I can knock down. 3, 4, 5. Okay, last pillar. And these platforms fall really fast after that's knocked down, so I gotta be fast. And that's the end of the run. That Moon Kingdom was especially brutal. Holy crap. This mod is so hit or miss with if I'm consistent with it or not. There we go. Time's coming up here in about 5 seconds. And time. Okay, I'm a bit overestimate, but it happens. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was overestimate, but you know, it's a Kazam mod, it happens. Quick shoutouts for me. If you want to see more from me, I'm over on twitch.tv/CheeseJay with 2 Ys, and I've been making YouTube content over on CheeseJay on YouTube at CheeseJay1Y. But yeah, that's all I have. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.